Hello everyone and welcome to another Thursday. That means it's a Gear Talk time. That's right, it's 5 o'clock. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a connoisseur of the internet. A connoisseur, you could say, of Gears of War. I mean, that's why we have an entire show dedicated to it. So, I'm someone who likes to keep in touch and informed with everything I can. And I came across an article that, while a little bit late, still holds information that we can use to talk about. So, Gears 6, something that'll happen someday and we're all waiting for, this article actually talks about it. And the name of this article, I have it pulled up right here over on Gamerant.com, is called 10 Unresolved Mysteries and Plot Holes Left Hanging in Gears 5. Now, we didn't really get anything except for the Hivebusters DLC, which we'll talk about in this also, that really continued anything on from Gears 5. We have some book stuff, but that's more like pre-tensed instead of post-tense. We don't have information, so I can kind of go off of this and talk about it. And there's a lot of, not holes in Gears, but holes in this article that I think I should help clear the air, because I'm certain some people have seen this, and I thought me being a genius in the Gears field could probably clear some things up for you. So I thought I'd go through all the 10 things they have for their plot holes and pretty much mysteries that are left abound. Alright, the first thing they have down on here is, what will happen to the Hammer of Dawn? Now this one, it kind of makes sense why they would bring this one up, because the Hammer does have a few questions involved with it. Now, right now in Gears, as of where we are in the current story, as far as we are, the Hammer of Dawn is pretty much more than just a crapshoot, it's pretty much a last-ditch gamble. The Hammer of Dawn is very, very unreliable and very unstable at this point, to the point where if you use this, there is a chance it will do more damage than what you are trying to do, and you could possibly be killed along with it. We saw that with how JD ended up getting Baird to implement in the beginning, and the only reason we got this thing to work in the end was by having a singular main beacon known as Jack be used to fire this thing. I'm not gonna lie, I see it being used one more time, and that would be in Gear 6 maybe. I don't know, like, this is the final shot we got, all lasers go! That's all I can see it being used for. I don't see the hammer being of, like, much major use or anything, so they say, like, there's still satellites roaming, but they're unstable, and this article says Earth, so I already know that they're not 100% knowledgeable on their gears, which we'll get to very soon with the rest of this. But I can tell they're not very knowledgeable of how this works and how bad it really is. Even in 3, it was really bad. The only reason we have it currently is because no one knocked those satellites out of the sky. That's the only reason we still have the hammer. So, my opinion, we'll probably use it one more time, and it'll probably be the biggest hoot and holler we'll ever see, compared to, like, it'll be just as big as when Prescott used it. Let's face it, it won't be that big, but it'll be a big one. Next up we have, can we expect another member of the Carmine family? Yes, we can. We've already got one that's pretty much been, he's pretty much been like a mystery and an enigma, and we're expecting someday to hear from him. D. Carmine. The Carmine that I'm most enjoying for my theories, because I seem to really, like, pick up steam with the D. Carmine talk. So, D. Carmine, if you don't know, is supposedly the fourth brother of the Carmine brothers. We know there's 4, we've only met 3. We also know that Lizzie is the niece to Clay. That kind of leaves it up as like, okay, who's the father? I've thrown out my theories. It could, honestly, probably not Ben. Anthony, if he had, like, a child like he got his wife pregnant right before he left, but a lot of it is pointing towards, it's D. Carmine. D. Carmine, you know, A, B, C, D, Anthony, Ben, Clay, D. Carmine. We've been getting hints of that since 3. Or technically since 2, because that was when it was first revealed how many brothers there were. But we've been getting hints. So my assumption is D will make an appearance. If not, we still have the other portions of the family we haven't seen. It's a very large family. There could be others. I mean, heck, Will was like a great uncle figure kind of thing. You know, Fredo Carmine was on another branch, they stated. So we still have Carmines to go through. So there will be another Carmine in Gear 6. Next up, what does the future hold for Queen Mira? This is funny with how they talk about it, because they say, like, I'll read it verbatim for you. So they go on, like, they say, like, okay, here's what happened, how she appeared, and what she did. They go on to say, Perhaps Queen Reina is ill and can be brought back to the good side. Judging by her bizarre behavior in Gears 5, it looks as if she's gone through horrid transformations. She may indeed be lost, and the only way to stop Queen Mira will be to kill her. You are correct. You are probably going to kill her. Understand, and this is why I bring up question on how well they know everything here. Reina is dead. The Reina we're seeing, very high probability, is possessed by Mira. Like this, it is stated, Reina is dead. The Reina you know is gone. Reina no more. Mira probably has access to all of Reina's memories and is using that to manipulate things, but Reina is gone. If Reina were to come back and be like, oh no, I'm still good. Maybe the end of the game, and it's like, that's how they pull a BS, this is how we beat the Swarm in the end. I don't see it happening. Reina is probably going to die, and if she doesn't die, it at least opens us up to more than just a trilogy, which I hope they can spin it well than the current one we're stuck in, so fingers crossed. Kind of short, but Reina will be back. Reina is probably going to die, and she will stay the villain. Next up, will Marcus Phoenix return? Yes, he definitely will, but the reason I pause on that, they bring up, he's getting older, he's taking more of a back seat, which he is, they are correct, and they bring up, maybe it's time for him to die. And honestly, they had a shot at 4. I'm glad they didn't, and they did a really good psych out in 4. I'm proud of what they did in 4. They've had chances. They put him backseat in 5. I don't think they would have killed him no matter what. I honestly think if you were to kill him at this point, it's probably going to have to be in 6. Most definitely, if he is going to die, it will be 6. If he does not die, I could see him continuing on. He's going to die in combat. Marcus is not just going to die in a deathbed like, I lived a long life. Oh, God. Cole Baird. Well, that was a hell of a run. No, he's not going out like that. It will not end like that. Marcus is a soldier. He will die on the battlefield. I don't know how he's going to die, but he will. He could live after 6. He really could. I don't know how they can spin it, though, if they're going to not... So, the only way he's going to die is if they put him in the main focus. Then he's going to die. If they put him in the backseat like 5, I don't know how they could kill him and write it well. I have no clue. So, he will return. I don't think as a main character, maybe it would be good to have him as the main character. Definitely anyone other than Kate. That's my go-to. He will return. We don't know what kind of role he's going to play yet. Coming up next is... I bullshit you not. Is Adam Phoenix still alive? This is what I'm talking about. And, like, there's a lot of other ones that get kind of dumber. In my mind, this is the dumbest one. Is Adam Phoenix still alive? Here's the thing. They reference what happens to him in 3 in the article here. They know what happens. Here's what I'm saying. Adam supposedly died in the beginning, before 1. If you read the slab, you learn he did not die. He was saved and he's still alive. Here's the thing. Adam was vaporized. He was turned to ash. He no longer exists on like a molecular... He doesn't have a physical being anymore. He's dead. He's gone. If for any reason Adam is alive, that is the biggest bullshit pull I have ever seen in my life. Adam's dead. He's never coming back. His story is done. Baird, as we've seen, has taken the place of Adam. There is no more Adam Phoenix. He's gone. I do not know how he could come back. Because the Swarm is connected through the Locust's ability to evolve through combat and possible extinction. That has nothing to do with the Lambent. Granted, they were created through Lambent, but the Lambency has nothing to do with the Swarm's evolution. Adam straight up injected himself and turned himself into a walking time bomb. There's no literal way I can think of he could possibly come back from the dead. Reina, as we've seen, is literally the only exception to a walking corpse I think we have ever seen in the Gears series. Number 5. Whose side is Kate Diaz on anyway? Okay, so they bring up the whole, like, the visions, how she controlled the Swarm at one point. They bring up she's debating with herself what side she belongs on. Maybe she could be convinced to join the Swarm. Is she really on humanity's side? Here's what. Okay, they bring up the headaches, which, no. So, okay, Kate had literally 5. Like, the whole mysteries of 5. This was literally the point of 5 by the advertisements and what we see. The Mount Kadar trip, all of this is, what side is Kate on? Is she going to betray us, or is she going to stick with humanity? We get a look at the very end of the game when she sides with humanity. She takes off the locust symbol that was her grandmother, which is Mira. We see that she does not have the headaches anymore. As far as I can remember, she states that she's not having nightmares anymore and she's not having headaches because they cut that portion of her connection to the hive. As far as I'm aware, no headaches exist anymore. If I'm wrong, go ahead and call me on that. That's fine. But this game was literally made to present the fact that Kate is going to make the decision, and by the end she has chosen, I'm siding with humanity. Literally, Reyna comes up to her, you made your choice. Like, not even just stating, and we'll get to this with another question, what's going to happen with each thing on the side of her, but also, whose side are you on? That was the symbolism there. We already know. It's already stated. She is on humanity's side. She is staying on there. I know they're kind of referencing like, okay, Gear 6, will she change? No, she won't. We've already done that. If we're going to jump on anything else, it's a horrible decision. Number 4. Did Kate mean to kill her uncle? Now we're getting into some spoiler territory from here on out. So, here's what. It goes over the fact that like she controlled the swarm and she went in, the swarm killed Oscar. All of that happened. It's saying, did she mean to kill? Was she purposely trying to? And they bring up, like, she's connected. We see it firsthand. Here's the thing you got to remember. Kate had never been, like, inside the hive mind until that moment that she was. And she had the link. She's of the queen's blood. It's very apparent she's going to be thrown in with a bit more control and a bit more power than, you know, the other locusts and swarm. I say locust because we saw what's over at Mount Kadar. Not anymore, though. We see that. So it makes complete sense to me. She's thrown in, and you have Mira living in the mine somewhere, but you also have all the swarm in there, and they're going off their base instincts and command from Mira. I fully believe it's like, hey, there may be someone controlling me, but they have no clue what they're doing. They have no control at the moment because they don't know how to control me. I'm just going to keep going around and killing. I don't think Kate had full control of that, of like the juvie, of the drone. I don't think she had control of any of it. I don't think she did. I don't even think she controlled the drone. It's been a while since I played that level. But like, when it comes down to it, when she gets the warden that goes up and grabs him and snaps his neck, I'm very certain Kate was just watching that at that point and didn't have any control of her uncle's neck getting snapped. We had control, but I don't think Kate was in control of that. So no, Kate was not trying to kill Oscar, the only living family member she had left. Number 3. Is JD redeemed for what he did? Alrighty. So, this mostly talks a lot about the Hammer of Dawn strike that happened that killed Lizzie, and this talks about the Settlement 2 situation. So, Settlement 2, a lot of blood on his hands. I'm not going to go into it because Settlement 2 could be its own video, but he pretty much killed some innocent people. And Dell never knew about it. He knew about Settlement 2. He was there. He never knew that it was JD that did that. That started opening fire, like commanded open fire. Then you also have the Hammer of Dawn strike that killed Lizzie. He just got blood on his hands. It's very apparent he does. And the question is he redeemed after everything that happened in 5 for what he did? Okay, here's the thing. Settlement 2, I would say yes, because of the fact that Settlement 2 he caused, but it was also the situation where Dell never knew it was him until like in 5 he learned that. And him and Dell grew up together. And you're going to tell me, and I think this is just bad writing, Dell automatically is like, screw you, man, for what you did. Again, I understand like if they were recent friends, but they've known each other their entire life. I feel like at that point, Dell, with who Dell is, would be like, okay, you must have had a reason for doing it. Like, I know you well enough. You're not just going to kill innocent people. Let's talk about what the hell happened, dude. Like, let's take a moment. Like, it's douchey what you did, but I'm sure you have a reason. I grew up with you my entire life. As for the hammer strikes, after that, he went through major trauma, and he pushed all his friends away because he was suffering trauma. Dell was trying to get into him, like, what the hell, man? Like, we're your friends. Kate's just a bitch, so I don't really count anything Kate does in general. But he retreated to Foz, what he used to know as being a military person. And they kind of just shunned him for that, and then he finally came out of his shell, and he's like, I want to help, I want to be with my friends. And he tried getting forgiveness from people. Like, with Baird, for what, because he's like, Baird, I know I caused that, like, that's the thing, like, I think he did gain his redemption. Maybe by a hair he got it, but he gained his redemption, I believe. I believe his story arc, honestly, was well done in 5. So, yes, JD, in my mind, gained his redemption. Number 2, can we expect a DLC story mission? Now, this is the only one that's actually come true since this list was made. So, we did the Hivebuster mission, but this one talks a lot about a story DLC that would take place after 5, which we don't get. And I think that's okay, because Hivebusters prove that you don't need to keep following the characters from the main story to have a good story. I truly believe that it was a good decision by the Coalition to do the Hivebusters. As for what they want here, they wanted tie-ups for what we'll get to the next part of the list, and a few things that were unanswered from this list. By what I've even said here, a lot of the stuff they've listed are either things they didn't pay attention to, stuff they didn't research, they didn't care about, like, oh, the satellites around Earth, it's Sarah, it's this a different planet altogether. And it's very apparent, like, they want answers to stuff that's already been stated, and it would just be a rehash, and it just wouldn't be worth our time. So, yes, story DLC has happened. Hivebusters, amazing. Go play it. And finishing up the final one, the biggest spoiler on this list, by the way, will JD or Dell be in the next Gears game? Okay. This one is a pretty debated subject. How do I put this? I have to mention the ending. That I have to do that in order to talk about this. So what happens in the ending is JD or Dell die. One of them are dead. And it's a horrible decision for the writing aspect of Gears because you're given a choice. We have never been given that in Gears. So I feel like that was a very wrongly placed decision. But it brings up the question, what's going to happen in 6? A lot of people believe importing files. A lot of people believe they understood what they did and they're just going to scrap it and they're going to go with a linear story again with a linear decision. By what I have seen, okay, my own opinion, what I have seen, we're going to go by, and I'm going to do a whole different video on this stuff too, but we're going to go by this. By what we have seen and what has been released, what is officially out there, it's pointing towards JD is the one that survives. It's pointed towards Dell dying because it makes sense. Dell gets no story added to him. He has no background. He has no character arc. I'm sorry. He tagged along with Kate just so that there was a second player. There's like nothing you get from him except I'm friends with Jack. JD, you have his entire story. You have him being the son of Marcus Phoenix. You have his redemption arc. You have all of this. And you're just going to kill him and keep Dell? You're going to keep Dell? That's your choice? I understand people don't like JD. I get that. But you're going to tell me he didn't have as much progression as other characters? Dell is literally sitting there cracking jokes because he has nothing else. Okay? I'm sorry. The official walkthroughs have openly stated save JD. It makes sense for his character. I believe that he's the one who should live. Yes, in my mind, they will be back. I have an idea too for like whoever died. I don't know. I'm like, dead bodies can be taken over now. What if? Listen to this one. We'll end it here. What if they bring back the speaker inside whoever died's body? Imagine that. And he's sitting there like, so frail, but a vessel all the same. I think that would be some fun writing with the direction they're going. I don't like the idea of it, but if they were to do it, I think that would be a good decision. So, yes, they will be coming back, at least, well, definitely one of them will be coming back in Gears 6. And that's going to do it. If you guys want to take a look at this article, I will leave the URL in the description so you guys can go take a look at it. What are your opinions? Out of those 10 things, like, what do you truly believe is really a plot hole or a mystery? I don't really believe any of these are. I think whoever wrote this, I'm not going to put names out because I don't want to put anyone on blast. This is just my opinion. I don't believe whoever wrote this really delved into the Gears of War universe. I feel like this was the popular game at the time. He watched someone do a playthrough, or he watched the cutscene movie, and he just said, here are the 10 things. Like, he doesn't even get, like, the lore of it right when it comes to, like, the planet. No, I honestly believe, like, a lot of these are easily explained. So, if you have any actual plot holes, leave it in the comment section. I don't mind answering it. Maybe I'll make a second video if I have enough of them, and I'll make actual plot holes. Or mysteries of the Gears world. So, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. We've got one more month of Gear Talks, and then we got the holiday season coming up. So, a lot of them next month. We've got, like, 1 in October, 2 in November, 1 December. So, we're going to be finishing up the month. They're going to be sparingly coming out, but, I mean, what are you going to do? That's how the schedule fell. I'm sorry. Well, I'll see you in the next one. You guys have a good one. Later.